From WGGB Springfield, this is 40 in the Morning.
Two early morning fires ravaged two homes in Springfield. Good morning, I'm Emily Voles. It's 7 a.m. on this Sunday, November 11th. Thanks for joining us here on 40 in the Morning Weekend. We're going to get to all your top stories in just a moment, but first let's head over to Dan Brown, who's standing by with our first look at the forecast. Hey, Dan.
Hey, good morning, Emily, and a very good Sunday morning, everybody. On this Veterans Day, it's going to turn out to be a nice day. We're starting off with lots of clouds right now, but we're going to see some sunshine, and the temperatures are going to really warm up. Yesterday was a nice day. We made it into the mid to upper 50s today. We're going for the lower 60s this afternoon. In fact, we're cool now, but not cold. We're coming in at 43 degrees right now in Springfield. It's 41 up in Deerfield, so we're generally in the lower 40s. And again, we do have a lot of clouds right now. That's actually the leading edge of that mild air that's going to be streaming in. Few showers out by Albany, may clip the Berkshires or parts of Franklin County, I would say, over the next hour or so. Then that's about it. The clouds will break apart as we head towards lunchtime. 42 or 3 degrees now, mid-50s by noontime, and we're into the lower 60s this afternoon. It's really going to turn out to be a nice day. The nice weather sticks around for tomorrow as well, and then a cool down. We'll talk more about that in our 7-day. It comes up just a little while from now. Emily, to you.
All right, thanks, Dan. New this morning, a fire breaks out in Springfield, destroying a 3-story home. Officials say the fire started at 386 Franklin Street a little after 4 a.m., and it didn't take long for the flames to engulf all 3 stories of the home. Firefighters say no one inside the house was injured. They spent most of the morning trying to put the blaze out. Now they're trying to figure out what started it. Stay with ABC 40 for the latest on this fire. About an hour later, firefighters were dispatched to another fire on Suffolk Street. You can see the smoke billowing out of the 2.5-story structure. Firefighters have yet to confirm if there were any injuries inside the house, but crews were able to put out the blaze. ABC 40 will continue tracking the story and bringing you the latest information as it becomes available. Also new this morning, a string of drive-by shootings shake up a neighborhood in Springfield. Police say they received reports of gunfire on Central, Florence, and Walnut Streets just after 3 a.m. The shots lasted for about 20 minutes. One home was hit by a bullet on Central Street. That bullet actually went through a child's bedroom window. Luckily, no one was injured. Police say they're looking for a recent model Volvo SUV in relation to the shootings. If you have any information, you're urged to contact the Springfield Police Department. FEMA has approved more than $400 million in aid for the victims of Superstorm Sandy. The money will go to the areas hardest hit by the storm, including Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. FEMA has already opened 44 disaster recovery centers in those 3 states, and more centers are opening daily. Agency officials say more than 350,000 people have registered for assistance. Another top-ranking official is speaking out about the David Petraeus scandal. This time, it's one of his predecessors. General Michael Hayden says the resignation of David Petraeus is sad, but the Central Intelligence Agency will survive.
It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy for the nation. It's a tragedy for the agency, including a tragedy for the Petraeus family. Now, they'll move on and wish them all the best, but it's just very sad.
Hayden was in charge of the CIA from 2006 to 2009 after a long career in the Air Force. CIA Director David Petraeus stepped down on Friday after accusations that he was having an affair with his biographer and Reserve Army officer Paula Broadwell. Petraeus was a former 4-star military general who President Obama called one of the most outstanding generals of his generation. Residential complaints set off a firestorm at a Board of Health meeting near Boston. It happened Friday after Hanson residents started complaining about animal regulations. In this video, you can see what started as a meeting quickly turned into shouting and swearing, even death threats inside Town Hall. One man then took it a step further, as you can see, flipping a table and hitting the Board of Health chairman on the legs.
I kind of ducked to avoid getting struck in the face by whatever was coming at me.
Most of the anger was directed at Constantine, who upset some residents by demanding too much control over animal regulations. Well, they're already the minority in the Massachusetts State House, and come January, they'll hold even fewer seats. Republicans lost 4 seats in Tuesday's election, which will bring their numbers down to just 29. That means Republicans will represent about 18% of the 160-member House. It comes after doubling their numbers 2 years ago in the 2010 election. Republicans hold just 4 seats in the 40-member Senate. A mysterious explosion rocks a neighborhood in Indianapolis last night. Authorities say the blast leveled at least one home and set 4 others ablaze. It happened around 11 o'clock. Fire officials spent most of the night working to put out the flames. Multiple injuries have been reported, and at least 2 people are dead. Authorities will be checking to see if gas was involved in the explosion once the fires are contained. A Colorado police officer shot and killed a man who attacked him with a sword early Saturday morning at a school campus in downtown Denver. Police say they got a call from the witness about a man running around with a sword at 6 in the morning. When a police officer confronted the man, he attacked the officer with a weapon, slicing his finger so severely that the officer had to be hospitalized for the wound. Names of the officer and the suspect have not yet been released. Every season we see a few Grinches, but this year it looks like some thieves in Pennsylvania are getting an early start. 4 robbers stole layaway gifts at a Walmart near Scranton. 2 of the thieves were caught on surveillance video. Footage shows them walking out of the store without paying for air rifles or a pair of bolt cutters. They then take it a step further. The thieves went around to the back of the store and used those bolt cutters to break into trailers that were used to store layaway gifts. Police believe the 4 thieves did the same thing at a Walmart in Dixon City, taking thousands of dollars worth of toys, bikes, and electronics.
It's just devastating. These, people have been through so much, and now they're hitting them before Christmas. It's terrible.
Both Walmarts are still doing an inventory on the trailers to see exactly how much was taken, but police say the surveillance video has actually been very useful. In fact, they believe they have 2 of the robbers identified. Well, he's already won re-election, but now, 5 days after the vote, President Obama can claim victory in Florida. Prominent media outlets have declared Mr. Obama the winner in the state, which brings him to a total of 332 electoral votes. The announcement in Florida comes after officials spent the past few days counting ballots in 3 counties. Republican challenger Mitt Romney finished out with a total of 206 electoral votes. Springfield's annual Veterans Day Parade kicks off this morning at 11. The parade will start at STCC and end at City Hall. Several prominent community members will be at today's event, including Mayor Dominic Sarno, Springfield's Veteran Services Director Thomas Belton, and members of the Veterans Day Parade Committee. The parade will include a brief ceremony on the steps of Springfield City Hall and a wreath laying at the War Monument in honor of all those who served. Well, it looks like gambling is on the horizon in Western Mass, but will a casino really do wonders here? All next week, our Brendan Monahan is going to show you what it's really like to have a casino in your backyard. Brendan has traveled everywhere from Connecticut to Pittsburgh, even Cincinnati, and he got plenty of input along the way. Don't miss The Big Gamble all next week at 6. Still to come on 40 in the Morning weekend, a championship Saturday in Western Mass. We'll have all your sports news right after the break.
And your Veterans Day is looking pretty good. We're talking about a big warm-up this afternoon. We're going for 60 degrees. We'll have all the details in your first warning forecast. It comes up right after the break.